Right. I'm just going to try my best to explain this in simple terms as possible. Our ruling class pedophile elite, right, the Crown PLC, which is the corporation, trick us to act and purport to act, as a spokesman for another Crown-owned corporate franchise called A Surname. And they take our silence as not saying anything about it when they say, what's your name and date of birth? And you say your born date as your birth date, and you state you are a Mr. or a Mrs. or a Miss. Basically saying you are a corporate rank fiction created by the Crown via birth certificate contract. Now, me personally, I'm privy to the grammatical fraud. Where is it? I'm privy to grammatical fraud and the etymology and the wording that they use within the courtrooms. I don't know it all, but I am not ignorant to the manipulation, deceit and grammatical fraud used by representatives of the Crown PLC in order to gain consent from me for them to conduct commerce with the surname, because legislation must only sue and be sued by a corporate name. So spokesmen for the Crown trick you to speak for another Crown corporate franchise, A Surname, which was created on the registration date on the birth certificate, when your mum and dad signed you into a contract called the Cester Gay v Act, into an act which deems you dead lost at sea. I think it's after your 8th birthday, after your 12th birthday. That's why you received the mail through the post in Royal Mail as master, because at that point in time you are the master of all your God-given equity until after your birthday, after your 12th or 8th birthday, and you're deemed dead lost at sea. Then the Crown, another corporation, salvage your equity using salvage laws, maritime law. And what they do is they trick you to consent to it through ignorance. So they get you to say, I mean, look, I am a man called Philip Anthony, that's me, do not consent to purport to act as a representative for a corporate name that does not exist in law, LORE, as a fact or in reality, a fiction signified as Mr. Philip Anthony Hartley, a presumption of corporate contractual policy called law, LAW, land, air and water, a belief contrary to God's truth. Being represented by ignorance through want of knowledge, I am not ignorant to the manipulation, deceit and grammatical fraud used by representatives of the Crown in order to gain my consent. No consent equals no contract. No obligation to perform or act in person as a corporation. Consensus shall be assumed when there is no evidence of disagreement from a qualified representative of the Crown Corporation who is by his own action shall verify I am under no obligation to purport to act as a corporation performing in person. Should the Crown remain silent before the 19th on or before the 19th of March 2021, qui set constituted videator, I can't pronounce it, he who was silent when he ought to have spoken and was able to is taken to agree. So you know Prince Andrew's being protected at Balmoral. The fact that you're not on the street screaming and shouting about it, right, it's the Crown taking you to agree with them protecting Prince Andrew. Now I know you don't agree, but they look at it as you do, through using all this grammatical bollocks and all this Latin, magic, spelling. It's all contract, it's all money, it's all profits, it's all about charges, ka-ching. It's all about transactions. Courts have become places of commerce. Don't forget, God created man created these corporations, the Crown, and then they created a person. If you walk around saying you're a person, you're saying you're the Crown's creation. And you must do what your creator says, because he who creates owns. This is it, guys. All we've got to do is realise the difference between a person and a man born natural from the womb, and a person created through a contract. If you're walking around in person, you're walking around as a created thing by the Crown. If you're walking around as God's child, living flesh being with blood coursing through your veins, you have a right to face your accuser. So if there's a crime committed, where's the verified claim from a man against you, a man? I know it's really hard to get you around, man. It took me a long time to. I mean, I still don't get it all, but everything I do get, I'm trying to tell you from my heart. I'm not being paid to read off an auto cue and keep you locked in fear whilst I go to G7 Summit and just have a fucking laugh and a piss up with all my pedo mates laughing at you. No, I don't. I just tell you the truth. I report the truth. I've been in Birmingham. I was in there 5 minutes, man. I saw 10 beggars begging for drugs on the street, but they must be immune, eh? No, the police aren't going to remove their vacuum that's sucking money out of all pensioners' pockets, are they? No. They're going to want to keep the greasy fat cash pig wallets greased for Christmas, aren't they? Or are they not? I mean, think about it. So basically, anytime a representative asks you your name and date of birth, they are intentionally, most of the time, trying to mislead you into a quasi-contract, a verbal contract, where you purport to act as a representative for a Crown on corporate name by saying you are indeed a Mr, Mrs or Miss. Name, surname. See right there, yeah, there's 3 things. That's a corporate rank, Mr. Philip Anthony, that's me. Well, not this one, because this is in dog Latin, but Philip Anthony, that's me. On the birth certificate, it's signified in English. And Hartley is signified in all caps, which is dog Latin, which is to corrupt the truth. To corrupt the truth. It's not real, it's a second language. So why, as a contract, the birth certificate got 2 languages on it? Why? Because you've been frauded. It's the same as the council sending you out a letter with the little logo on and the Crown telling you it's it's a special invitation to come and to a meeting that they're holding. If you turn up, you agree, you're acquiescing. Council tax should only apply to a commercial property. It's the same as driving. Driving is defined as travelling for commerce on the roads, right? Operating a vehicle for commerce on the roads, that's driving. So like bus driver, truck driver, lorry driver, tractor driver, you know what I mean? You're just travelling, and you don't have to have a licence to travel from point A to point B in your own property. You're just tricked to sign a contract so you can be stung. So the council can draw a square on a road that you've paid tax for and charge you extra to park on it. And you've all begged for it, clapped for it, and banged your pans for it. And wore your masks for it. Communism, you've masked for it, mate. You have masked for it. Communist state, we're living in a communist state. They put people on the trains to Auschwitz and told them it was for the safety. They're protecting Prince Andrew. They've knighted Jimmy Savile. They killed Jill Dando. They covered up Rotherham grooming. You know, these are the same people telling you to wear a fucking mask and deplete oxygen to your hemoglobin. Now, the 5th generation technology that they're using for telecommunications nowadays is concentrated beams of energy targeted at your device. Now, anything that target acquires is a weapon. It's a weaponry system. Just like they harnessed the light spectrum and turn it into a laser and can burn through steel, they can harness the electromagnetic spectrum and direct focused energy at you, and that's weaponry. And as that passes through your body, it disrupts your cells, causing them to toxify and butt out things called exosomes, which come out in sweat, spit, phlegm, out your feet. And they know this, but obviously just like the coal days, they don't want a big coal and oil. They're for big corporate wankers. They're not for me and you. They don't care about me and you. They'll just pretend that they do. So you keep running to doctors and asking for poisons, for the poisons that they're already giving you. Don't forget, mate, I was 17 stone on citalopram, doctor's orders. That's me on doctor's orders. That's me on doctor's orders. That's me on doctor's orders and tablets, sitting on my ass watching TV and drinking. That's me on. That's me on my boxing coach's orders, fitness, running, healthy. There's no way on this earth I would have run 18 half marathons throughout this lockdown if I'd have listened to the people on the TV. Bill Gates is on Epstein flight list, mate. They all are. They're all wrong-uns, man. They're all paedophilic satanic wrong-uns. I promise you, I'm speaking to you from my heart as a brother. Now it's down to you. You can either ignore me, but remember, ignorance is a choice today. And I've just told you. I've just put it to you. Nice and calm. as politely and as simple as I can. If you choose to ignore that, then that's fine. Go and put your TV back on. Go and watch your Emmerdale. Go and watch your EastEnders. Go and watch fake emotions, fake crime, fake everything for your fake world and your fake reality. It hurts me seeing people slowly suffocating themselves, taking their orders from pedophiles. It hurts me, mate. Because you're not listening to people that love you. I mean, I'll guarantee some of your family will be like, oh, don't get the vax because it's doing this, and you'll be like, shut up. Listening to paedophiles instead. Why do you need man's intervention to your God-given natural immune system, like? Do you doubt God that much that you think you need man's intervention? See, when you get this stuff in you, you become a product. And you become less of God's child because you're more of a crown product. Because you've got technology flowing through your veins instead of just blood. It's common sense, man. 16 months. If you haven't done any research, then you're an idiot. 16 months. If you're still taking orders from these wrong-uns, then you're an idiot. And you stole my freedoms, my children's freedoms. Thanks. And that's just through your ignorance. Because people are here telling you, fuck coronavirus. Yeah? You keep your hands washed, we'll keep your brain washed, the BBC. There's people been camped outside the BBC for 107 days. Why aren't the ITV reporting on it? Is this your seat, mate?
I think you're in my
Yeah, sorry, mate. Sorry about that.
Oh, don't worry.
Look at that, you way, mate. Thanks very much.
For a couple of stops, I won't